Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Catherine Bonin, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to CSL Charlotte on this magnificent May morning. Whether you're with us in person or streaming on Facebook, YouTube, or Zoom, we're glad that you're here. This is your first time here. We're very happy that you've chosen to join us today, and we're grateful for modern technology that lets us touch so many lives across this beautiful country of ours. And to find out more about us and all the great things happening here at CSL Charlotte, please visit our website, which is cslcharlotte.org, and you can subscribe there, and that way you'll get emails right in your inbox telling you all the things that are happening. There, you can also put in a prayer request, and whether you're needing to get some support around a challenge in your life, or if you want to just celebrate something wonderful that's happening and invite more, we are happy to pray with you and support you as you deepen your relationship with Spirit. So don't be shy. And then today, if you hear something that you'd like to hear again, or you happen to miss a Sunday, or if on a Wednesday you just want a shot of inspiration, these services are recorded and they're added to our website each week. So you can find all the archived services there and listen whenever it works for you. So now let me tell you a little bit about us. The Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is a new thought community living in ancient wisdom. And this philosophy was developed by Ernest Holmes, a 20th century writer and lecturer. It's called The Science of Mind. And Dr. Holmes was on a mission. He studied many truths from all of the world's different religious traditions and spiritual paths. We often call him the great synthesizer because he used all these principles and truths to come up with a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and to look at the world that we live in. At the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte, we honor all the different paths to God, all those philosophies, every religion and every spiritual tradition. We honor every race, every sexual orientation, and every physical distinction. We are a diverse, open, and affirmative community. And we know that there are many roads to God. You can call it God, as I just did, or you can call it the divine, or peace, or love, or spirit, infinite mind, the universe, the I am presence. It doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is that you create that personal relationship with it, that spirit that lives within you. And it's important that we take time to cultivate that relationship. And that's what we do here this morning. That's what we do all the time at CSL Charlotte. And that's what we want to support you in doing as well. It's also important for you to know that you don't have to leave your current religion or philosophy or nature of knowledge. Join us anytime. You're welcome here. We are inclusive. We recognize and honor all the sacred scriptures as well, the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, the Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita, just to name a few. So our vision statement is to continue a spiritual community that creates and prepares a succession of leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, the messages and the practices that we teach to strengthen the mind, body, and the spirit. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness, everyone in this community. And we teach the tools to do that. So join us here on Sunday mornings, and then also on Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock Eastern, when we have an ongoing class, if you will, or gathering, where we specifically explore principle and tools. So I'd like to once again welcome everyone and invite you to sit back and enjoy our service as we celebrate that powerful presence that lives and loves and extends itself within each one of us. So now it's my pleasure to pass the microphone over to my dear friend and our illustrious leader, Reverend Rosedale Jones.
How? Thank you, Reverend Catherine, all the way out there from Carlsbad, California. She was like, to me, a partial mentor when I was a brand new minister. Well, actually, I was still in school when I met her. So that was really good. So anyway, thank you, Reverend Catherine. So that said, welcome everybody to all of our YouTube listeners and the virtual community and anybody everywhere. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte, the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. And this month, we're celebrating Asians American, what's it called? Asian American and Pacific Islanders in the United States. I guess it must be something going on with the whole country because that's what I got from the studies, my research. And what we do for this month of May is honor the first arrival of the Japanese immigrants to the United States in May of 1843. And then they completed the Transcontinental Railroad in May, and that was largely May of 1869, and that was largely built by immigrants. So the first thing we do in our spiritual community, as well as honor all people, all religions, all cultures, you heard Reverend Catherine, is we open with a beautiful affirmative prayer for our Sunday celebration. And today we're all about living in the Tao. And there is a person by the name of Lao Tzu. He is a well known ancient Chinese philosopher, and he established the Tao philosophy. So, first on our platform, we're opening up our affirmative prayer with our spiritual practitioner, Maureen Thurston, aka Mo. So, we're doing a full out practice on living in the Tao this Tuesday. So, come on and check us out, especially at our consciousness meeting. So we'll hear if Mo's prayer indicates that she is living in the Tao. And if you want to start to live in the Tao, it's very simple. Put in a prayer request and go to our websites right now and request a prayer. And then you will see what it is to be living in the Tao. So here's the thing, you have to choose to put in a prayer request so Mo can send your prayer to your inbox. Okay, Mo, so let it rip.
Good morning, everyone. So as we settle in and open our hearts and our minds to hear this amazing message that Reverend Rosedale is going to share with us today, I know that each and every one of us take what is ours to hear, that our hearts are filled and opened, that we come with this service and into this service open-minded, open-hearted, and with an expectation of pure bliss as we work with this community here today and love this service. I release, I let go and let God, knowing that everything runs smoothly and easily and is perfectly for each and every one of us. So it is.
Oh, it is. Thank you so much. We let it go. We let God handle this because that's who's got us. We've got us. We are that in us. So, next on our platform is our reader. Jerry Campbell, aka Groovy G, she has a reading for us that's going to help us with our desire for living in the Tao. So listen to her reading today because you'll recognize the benefits of living in the Tao from her reading, actually. And after you listen to her reading, listen to the song in the silence because you can teach yourself from that song alone how living in the Tao works for you. Just listen to Jack Fowler right behind Groovy. Groovy, make it do what it do.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It is my honor to read The Joy of Living in the Tao, written by our very own Reverend Rosedale Jones. Living in the Tao is a journey of sincere simplicity and penetrating depth. It is about adapting to the natural flow of life, surrendering to its courses, and finding peace during chaos. In the Tao, there is no need to strive or struggle. Instead, there is a gentle acceptance of what is. There is a recognition that everything unfolds in its own time and its own way. Living in the Tao is a way of being that invites us to let go of our attachments to outcomes. It invites us to release the need for control. It invites us to trust in the wisdom of the universe. Living in the Tao means finding joy in the present moment. It means finding joy in the simple pleasures of everyday life. It is about being fully present, fully alive, and fully aware of the beauty that surrounds us at every moment. Therefore, living in the Tao really means living in the now. In the Tao, there is no judgment, no separation between self and others. There is only a deep sense of interconnectedness, a recognition that we are all part of the same cosmic dance. It is a way of living that encourages compassion, kindness, and understanding towards ourselves and others. Living in the Tao is not always easy. It requires courage, a lack of conceit, and a willingness to let go of any attachments to our persona. In return, living in the Tao offers us a keen sense of peace. Living in the Tao offers us great depth into our connection to the world around us. Most of all, living in the Tao leaves us with greater understanding of our place in the world. Ultimately, the joy of living in the Tao is about finding harmony within ourselves, with others, and with our individual world. The joy of living in the Tao is about aligning ourselves with the natural order of the universe and holding on to faith in the infinite possibilities that arise when we surrender to its wisdom. The following is a quote from Reverend Rosedale. Life is knowing that there is nothing you have to do, only that you want to. It has to be that way. And so it is.
Full. Let's start with a short, brief centering and relax your eyes and either put them down into your lap or close them just to make sure that there is no distractions on either sides with your eyes. And now breathe in really deep and really long. And as you exhale, allow for your body to totally relax and feel the silence. Because Jack Fowler sings that in the silence, it points to the now moment because there's peace in this present moment. He sings that in the silence, there is peace. He says that in the silence, there is unspoken joy. So this way you cannot judge it. He also says that when he waits for those precious moments to get into the silence, he waits to hear all the things that could never be said. I love the thought of that. What do you know about that? And so in his holy presence, he finds silence, but he says he finds God, which is himself. So what do you find in the silence? What do you find? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? What do you taste in the silence? Do you find yourself? Well, it's your choice to look and find that out and really deep into yourself. And I just have one simple question. Would you say that you're ready to start living in the Tao? So you're at choice again for every time you start to grow or move into another transformation or navigate through a new journey. But your choice is to use spiritual practices so you can experience things like living in the Tao. And also, to really put that thing simple, it's actually living in the now. So wiggle your fingers and your toes and start to integrate your mind, your body, and your spirit. And then as you float, your eyes open again, look around your space and feel new to it. And then find something in your space that connects you to the present moment. So now we will start this service in the Tao. So I have a gratitude moment to Reverend Catherine, who's our MC today and who's always here at least once a month to help us out on the prayer part, to give, well, actually to give us the welcome the way she did it this morning. I thought it was so beautiful. She put it all in a nutshell. And thank you also, Mo, for your service of prayer. That also brings a nice light to us. And then thank you, Groovy, for your reading, because you're reading The Joy of Living in the Tao that I wrote. It's really what living in the now is about. So living in the now is the same as living in the Tao. So that's an incredible topic that I can say that I've chosen today. I couldn't think of another word than the Tao. Every day it's the same stuff, but we got so many conglomerates of terms that we can use. But today it's important to me because the Asian culture is one of my biggest, well, I'm a fan to them. Let's put it that way. And so I'm going to give them a heartfelt praises all this talk because see, they have a philosophy called the Tao, and it's deeply rooted in the Asian culture and particularly in China. There are so many traditions and religions in this world, and we at CSL Charlotte respect them all. We have Christianity, we have Islam, we have Catholicism, Judaism, and we have so many movements in the spiritual arena. So Taoism originated in ancient China, which it is a spiritual background. And it has been very influential in all aspects, in many aspects of the Asian philosophy and the spirituality and the culture, their culture for centuries. So Lao Tzu, I love his name. I love the Tao. I love talking about that. He's the founder and he's the Chinese philosopher who established the Tao philosophy. So Taoism is something that encompasses a wide range of practices. It also is a very loosely used as it could be translated into the way, the Tao, show the way, the now, right here, the path or journey, whatever you see. But that's the Tao. The Tao means a lot, and he, the author, he also gives us this authenticity of his works through let me see if I get this word right, traditional Chinese medicine. In traditional Chinese medicine is rooted in philosophy. Generally, in the Western philosophy where we live, our medicine is not really rooted in that. But when you think about your spirituality being in the traditional Chinese medicine, whoa, now. See, these are very skillful practitioners, and they are very skillful in traditional Chinese medicine. And see, they use these quality ingredients. And I don't just mean physical ingredients. I mean, they use their spirit, they use their heart, they use practices in medicine, in their medicine. And see, they're not just pills, right? So that's, and I would say that it's true that they're very skillful because I have been a client of traditional Chinese medicine for many years. And the practitioners that I deal with, they are totally skillful. And I don't think that, oh, well, here's the thing. One of the things I learned is that I can get a lot of research done because I have a practitioner that I learned about and met, and I really love him. He's like the doctor for me in Florida. He's really, really good. But what I do, if I can't find some research, I give him a call. See, I am an ongoing patient of that, acupuncture. Acupuncture is another traditional Chinese medicine, and it's healed me in many parts of my life over these many years. So I've discovered this wonderful quality and expertise, but I also learned it through acupuncture with them. And they really vary. All these different people these different practitioners, they vary significantly. So, but I will say this, when it came down to it, when I have Asian ones, that was the best for me, especially. That's just my own personal belief about it. And you know, they earn my respect when it comes to that traditional Chinese medicine, big time. And see, and here's what I said, what I talked about last week: education and spirituality equals transformation. You got to get the education in spiritual world and the spiritual realm and the spiritual modalities. Because personally, I've worked with that TCM, I'm going to call it, right? You know, and it was my healing modality for a long period of time since I educated myself about it. So when I need a good massage, I literally look for the Asian. And this thing about that being a part of transcendental medication, traditional Chinese medicine, they have a massage called Twina. It is spelled in a different way than what it said, but this is powerful. It's a therapeutic massage that they have perfected over the years. And 2,000 years ago, just like Indians started yoga and body, mind, body, spirit, and the same thing. They've been perfecting it and doing it more and more and more, and it's just been evolving so greatly. But once I got some more education about things like traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, I mentioned the Indian because that's another beautiful culture too. I stopped relying so much on the traditional Western medicine. But if it's need be, of course, everybody's going to go do an emergency run if necessary. But I find that in order to maintain my health, I just keep increasing my education. You see, that's the key. You too, but I'm just telling you about me because I only know about me. I don't know about you, technically. But let's be clear though. The Tao philosophy, its culture, and its historical origins are undeniably Asian. So being in the present moment in any spiritual practitioner or any spiritual tradition, it involves mind training. Listen to me clearly on that one. Just like in Groovy's reading, this is what I said. Living in the Tao is a journey of sincere simplicity and penetrating depth. I mean, I'm serious. If you can just hear those words of letting this thing go into you, then you'll see that it's all about us adapting into the flow of life. It helps us to surrender to all the little courses, all the little turns that we got to make in life. And then we can find, when we practice enough, we can find peace in the middle of all chaos. Oh boy, I'm telling you. Because you see, when you train that mind in constant practice every single day, you are definitely experiencing openness, spontaneity. You gotta have that spot, be able to bounce. You know, sometimes somebody could throw something, a ball at me, and I can't get it that quickly, but it might give me that. But at least I know that I can bounce back. And I need to get that spontaneity to get away from what I'm at, or this deep sense of connection. But when you practice every day, all of these things begin to happen for you because you got to surrender to the natural flow of life in order to be living in the Tao with this effortless feeling. See, living in the Tao is really being in the flow. It's being in the flow instead of constantly squeezing and grasping and desperately wanting something to happen. Let that thing go. Living in the Tao is an invitation. It invites us to trust. I like to look at my trees when I say that. I like to see them all the time. But it gives me that invitation to trust the natural, the nature. I love the sound of those. I was walking yesterday with my great granddaughter. I love the sound of those things. My granddaughter, she told me what it was. what they are, those little bugs. But I love their name. But it gives me this feeling when I was in the Dow at that moment. So it gives me this feeling of contentment and simplicity. And all simplicity in the Tao means is we just need to subtract the things from our lives that are complicating it. You see, as we continue to practice every day and we feel our most authentic self as we emerge every day differently, every day got to be different. You got to allow it to be. See, I find my spirit lifting with each one of those conscious subtractions that I release. See, my spirit is lifting because I'm subtracting anxiety about the things I don't have yet. Boy, I'm telling you, when I'm about to start something new, I can go into all kinds of stuff. Yeah, la 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 la. Got to start subtracting some of those ideas. Somebody could hit me with a thought and tell me something. Yes, it can throw me, but I've got to do my knee jerk reactions or whatever I do. And then eventually I got to come find my way back. I start to subtracting the things that no longer serve me. So my thoughts, things like judgment, my thoughts can't judge that thing because I have figured it out right then and there, my spontaneity, able to find myself. Living in the Tao is subtracting things that no longer serve us. So, in essence, subtraction is just simply, to me, a light-hearted releasing practice, if you will. And it's based on my growth and transformation because I found that, oh, here, this guy, Henry David Thoreau, he said that the soul grows through subtraction, not addiction. Addition. Isn't that amazing? But check this out. When you start subtracting anxiety, judgment, fear, blame, and anger, you can only add peace or whatever else good. See, Lao Tzu, his quote said, in pursuit, what meaning when you want to get your education, in pursuit of learning every day, something is added effortlessly. And the thing about Lao Tzu is he wrote, just like Ernest Holmes wrote our original text, he wrote the original text for the Tao Te Ching. That's where you educate yourself about stuff like I'm talking about now. Just pick up a copy of it. So when we learn that simple spiritual math equation, that subtraction adds more to your life than addition does, then you'll understand. We are living in the Tao. The minute you get that math equation, I don't know. I like it. I like the idea of saying that, so that's why I chose that. So living in the Tao is freedom. And there's always been to me a beautiful and more powerful and empowering idea when they said that. See, because living in the Tao, every day something is something is subtracted. If the fear, the worry, the anguish is subtracted because the minute I see or I hear or I notice something that just shook my world for a moment, I can take the time in the Tao and subtract. This is a math that teaches us the art of letting go. And so remember that subtraction is the key to living in the Tao, not addition. And so living in the Tao is the same thing as living in the now. So here's the joy about living in the Tao is that the power is of the now. The power is now. Now is the power. You know what I mean? Right now. All of this. I love that. It's just hard to explain that now is everything. In this very moment, there's nobody or nothing that can hinder me right now. Now. There's nothing, no matter what happened yesterday, no matter what happens in the future, nothing that I have control over has anything that can hinder. So it's time for us to relax in the knowing that there's nothing we have to do, only the things we want to do. And that's the beautiful thing about living in the Tao. Now, the beautiful thing is it is always present. Now is always present. Now is a gift, which is present, a present, right? Not in the future, not in the past, right now. So remember, it's your birthright to live in the Tao with joy. I am deserving. I deserve all good, not some, not a little, but all good. It's your birthright. So allow yourself to draw deeper into your elegant simplicity of the power of now. And I want you to listen to this song about the power of now, because that thing, that now you're in right now, living in the Tao as you listen to this next song. Wow, so beautiful. The power of now. Now, I know you heard Faith sing, and she said, I said sing, I didn't say sing. She sang, the power of now is always perfect. There's nothing to be but who you are. Faith saying that all we got to do is be willing to let go and make sure we're letting go of everything we think we need to know. So when we let go of everything we need to control, what no longer serves us goes away. Wow, that's phenomenal. Okay. Cool beans. Thank you, Timmy P. What a fabulous way to make sure we all know what's happening here and all the things we can be appreciated. I particularly love the way you hit the nail on the head of the subtraction equation in the math and the talk. Love it, love it, love it. So this is the time to talk about the birthdays. And you know yours. I don't, but I do know mine. And I celebrate the day I came to be. So if you're on Zoom, if you're on YouTube, just chat it, put it down there in the chat, in the comments, just your month and your day. We will definitely honor you. So that being said, just jot down that month and day, right? And so it's time for me to do the thing I love to do, and that's to give the big kudos to everybody on the platform this morning. Got a big shout out to our MC, Reverend Catherine from Carlsbad, my beautiful friend and adorable sister. She's fabulous to be here as much as she comes. And also our opening and closing prayer by Mo. She is our spiritual practitioner, and it was really opening us up really well. She's also going to close us out as well. And thank you, Groovy Jerry, because she likes to say Jerry, but I like to say Groovy, and she likes it too. So, all right, from reading that message that was powerful, you read it, you got it to match up and harmonize with the talk. Whoa, whoa, I like it. And thanks to Timmy P for showing up, hovering over us, and making sure we get the great music and we get those announcements so we know where we're going. And Alan, he is my right-hand man. He is the man that's over here doing the AV stuff, that behind the scenes stuff, that great job that he normally does. So he's the right-hand man, left-hand man, toes, feet, and legs. So that's what he does. He runs this whole area over here. And then, oh, because you know who's back there that's very quiet, and that's Horace. He's Horace the Bush. He's the one who I got to give great props to, because he's the one that makes sure we run like a well-oiled machine. And then we have Maureen Thurston, who does, she's like chomping at the bits to send out prayers through our emails. You send your prayer request in on our website, and I promise you, you're going to get a prayer back that's really going to light up your world. And then we have Melissa, who's back there in the background too, making sure that the spotlighting is working, making sure that the people are coming in and getting inside here. And then our reader. I think I mentioned our reader was Groovy, but you know what I call her? I call her our spiritual harmony steward. She keeps everything running back there and making sure that we got things quiet and like you can almost hear a pin drop. So don't mess with her, because I'm telling you, she's the cleanup woman. She's going to clean you right out of here. So thanks everybody for the fabulous work we do together, because it's no I in team. We got this. So now check this out. Before the last song, consider this. Today was all about what Groovy read, living in the joy of, no, living in the Tao, the joy of living in the Tao. That was the reading, right? And then living in the Tao is how you do the thing. Right? So I want you to take the rest of the week and I want you to really allow yourself to be lifted by this spiritual domain. Because see, this last song, boy, when we are lifted up into the spiritual domain, we begin to see a little bit differently. And see, what happened was, I want you to hear, before we close out, this song, Adventure in Paradise, because you will begin to see things differently. So before we close out, let's listen to that song, Adventure in Paradise. Remember, again, I'm going to tell you this is a really important point. When we are lifted in the spiritual domain, we begin to see a little bit differently. Remember that. And listen to this last song, Adventure in Paradise. I'm taking an adventure in paradise. He said, I'm taking an adventure in paradise. Hey, and guess what? Ha, I'm taking you with me. He said, I'm activating my stimulus spiritual package. I'm taking an adventure in paradise. See, you thought I was kidding when I said, when you be lifted up in the spiritual domain, you begin to see things differently. Look at it differently this week, because that's what we do. I get love. That's a fabulous song. I love it. But anyway, that is my favorite man out there in California. Well, one of my favorite men in California. And he is Michael Beckwith, Reverend Michael Beckwith in Culver City. So just wanted you to know that. So there's things happening all around us. Everything's happening all within us. And I just love having that adventure in paradise with him and his crew. They are, oh my God, I love going to their community. When I was in California, it was something to do. It was like we all on our feet. We was going to it, y'all. So anyway, let's have an amazing thought of that this week. But now let me just make sure that we pray ourselves out. So Mo, please do us the honors.
All right. So once again, I am filled with extreme gratitude for this amazing community, for the wonderful message shared by Reverend Rosedale this morning, and the heartfelt prayers and well wishes that everyone has here. I know that as we go into this Sunday, that there is a lightness within our steps, a lightness within our hearts, and yet we are filled with the love and the awareness of what is ours to do. Our days flow smoothly and easily. So with a heart filled with gratitude for each and every one of you, I release this and let it go, knowing that everyone in this community is blessed, that our day unfolds and fills our heart with joy and love and laughter. I release, I let go and let God and say, and so it is.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so it is. So let's take that spiritual practice. Let's go away to this awesome adventure in paradise this week. And as we wrap up our time together, remember to start living in the Tao. Just remember, I'm taking an adventure in paradise. If you could just say something that simple to yourself this week, it'll bring you back to this moment. All you gotta do is find something in the moment and bring it back to you. And use your spiritual practice to start living in the Tao this week. So remember, the universe is constantly supporting you on your journey every single week. And until we meet again, everybody, make sure to have a happy and grateful week. Oh, and remember to be grateful. Take good care.